In the warm, vineyard-covered lands of southern France, a young girl grew up surrounded by courtly culture and the chivalric spirit. Eleanor of Aquitaine. She was born into a world where women had little place in politics, yet intrigue, wars, and power struggles dominated the era. But Eleanor was determined to write her own destiny. Eleanor was born in 1122 in the Duchy of Aquitaine, a region in southern France that was one of the wealthiest, most culturally and artistically developed places of its time. Her father, William X, Duke of Aquitaine, was not just a powerful lord, but also a great patron of the arts and literature. Eleanor grew up in a court where troubadours sang of love and valor, knights engaged in battles of honor, and literature and music flourished. However, Eleanor's life would not be like that of other noble girls, quiet and uneventful. When her father died suddenly in 1137, Eleanor, at just 15 years old, became the sole heir to Aquitaine. This duchy was independent, wealthy, and powerful, making her the most desirable bride in Europe. Before his death, her father had arranged her betrothal to Prince Louis, son of King Louis VI of France. Thus, Eleanor was not only inheriting a duchy, but was also set to become the Queen of France. At the age of 15, Eleanor married Louis VII of France. When she arrived in the French court, many found her to be too free-spirited, too independent, and too bold. The new Queen of France was not only beautiful and intelligent, but also deeply interested in politics, the arts, and military affairs. However, there was a problem. Her husband, Louis VII, was her complete opposite. Louis had originally been destined for a life in the church and had unexpectedly become king. He was quiet, deeply religious, and introverted, while Eleanor was bold, adventurous, and passionate about the arts. Eleanor wanted a court filled with the romantic tales of knights, while Louis preferred to spend his time in prayer and fasting. In 1147, Louis decided to join the Second Crusade, and Eleanor accompanied him, leading her own army of knights. But for Eleanor, this journey was not just about a crusade, it became a fight for her own freedom. As they traveled through Byzantine territory and Anatolia, Eleanor's influence within the army grew. Many knights and soldiers admired her leadership, but this created tension with her husband. The fact that Eleanor commanded more respect than Louis himself deeply unsettled the king. The crusade ended in failure, and so did their marriage. Their relationship deteriorated beyond repair. Eleanor demanded an annulment, and in 1152, the French church officially declared their marriage null and void. Eleanor was now free. Shortly after leaving France, Eleanor married Henry Plantagenet, a young, ambitious, and powerful duke who was 10 years her junior. This marriage would not only change Eleanor's fate, but also alter the course of European history. In 1154, Henry was crowned King Henry II of England, and Eleanor once again became a queen. The couple had 8 children, 2 of whom, Richard the Lionheart and John Lackland, would go on to rule England. However, Eleanor and Henry's marriage gradually turned into a fierce struggle for power. While Henry attempted to limit Eleanor's political influence, Eleanor retaliated by using her sons against him in rebellion. In 1173, Eleanor and her eldest sons led a major revolt against Henry. However, the rebellion failed and Henry imprisoned Eleanor in an English castle for 16 years. When Henry died in 1189, his son Richard the Lionheart ascended to the throne, and Eleanor was finally freed. But her journey was far from over. She was no longer just a queen, she was a ruler in her own right. While Richard embarked on the Crusades, Eleanor effectively took control of England. She played a key role in raising an enormous ransom to secure his release when he was captured, and conducted diplomatic negotiations across Europe on his behalf. When Richard died, his younger brother, John Lackland, became king. Eleanor supported John's reign and worked to secure the dynasty's position by arranging her granddaughter, Blanca's marriage in France, helping to balance power between the ruling houses. Eleanor spent her final years at Fontevraud Abbey, where she passed away in 1204 at the age of 82. Her tomb lies beside those of her legendary sons, Richard and Henry. Eleanor of Aquitaine remains the only woman in history to have ruled both France and England. She was a visionary leader, a warrior, a diplomat, and a true legend of her time.